Welcome back to a new Transformers toy review. I'm Autocon, and this is comic version Straxus. Now, this figure was a special edition Hasbro comic, something like that, and I think this is great. What's his name? YouTuber, that toy guy, I believe that's his name. That hot toy guy, that toy guy. I watch his toy reviews. Pretty good. But he did mention that this is pretty cool that they're doing these comic books characters in the Transformers figures franchise. I think it's good that they're doing this comic book accurate Transformers figures. I just don't like that most of them were remolds or repaints. I would have liked new molds, if that makes sense. Grimlock was good. I reviewed Grimlock a while ago. He just came with like the extra swords for all his Dinobot crew and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, that was cool, but it was still, and it gave a chance to get other people the figure, so it was nice. Shockwave, I have the Cybertron version, so it's just a repaint, you know. I think there's a 2-pack. I forgot the name of the characters. I think one of them is a remold of Refractor, and then the other one is that awful War for Cybertron mold, Megatron, which they could have done so much better. But this one's good. It got my attention. You know, he is the mold of Galvatron, the one that's in Studio Series, the one that's in Kingdom, the one that's in Legacy, and the one that had a repaint. Which I own the repaint, by the way. The repaint one with the G1 accurate toy colors with stickers. I have that one. I'll go get it in a bit. It's just it's on the shelf all the way to the back. So I was debating whether I get it or not. But this looks good. Love it. Same mold, but different stuff. You know, it's a remold. Comes with his axe, which looks really good, and it comes with this cannon, which still looks good. You know, it's just short, but it's still good. I do like the fact that they took off the little hold here that Galvatron had. You know, I think it's a new forearm mold on this. I think this is still the same, but this is different. This is different. And because Galvatron would have the piece here, and you could peg it here. So I'm glad that they try to do a different mold, but they still base it off the original Galvatron. So it still has the same pieces, you know, but it's still different. Right here, the forearms, the chest, the back piece, I believe, and then that's it. That's new, and the weapons. But it's still a nice figure, you know. I don't think the Galvatron mold is a bad figure. I just think they don't let it sleep. They don't. They're trying to make it that side swipe mold that just kind of like comes out every year. You get a new side swipe remold. So yeah. Let's take away the accessories off and just look at this figure. The head sculpt looks really nice. I love it. You have a big fat Decepticon symbol here. It looks good. I don't even know where the mouth is at, so it still looks good, you know. It just looks great, you know. I know there's that Generations Straxus. That's that mold of that big tank with the missiles and stuff, which they also remolded to the Skull Grind figure, which is a good figure. I had Skull Grind at some point, but it's a good figure, you know, from Generations. You see that black paint here and there, black paint there, black paint here. It's the same type of thing that they did with Grimlock and all that. It's like a comic book shade kind of, which is pretty cool, you know. Doesn't look bad. Here's some more. Here's some more. There's some in the black right here in the tank mode or spaceship mode. There's some there. It doesn't look bad. I really like it. I like these comic book accurate figures. I really do. I just wish there were more new molds, if that makes sense. Most likely it's going to be more repaints, but it would be nice if they did more, just with more accurate comic book paint, you know. Maybe they could do a comic book accurate Prowl, instead of giving us a Studio Series Prowl a dead one, you know? I don't know. But this figure looks great, you know? I don't know much about Straxus, the character itself. You guys can let me know in the comments if you guys know anything about him. I could research it. I probably will, just because I'm curious, because he's more of a comic book character. But yeah, articulation is the same as Galvatron. His arms can move out that much. They can do it 360, which is still pretty solid articulation for this guy. The arms can like swivel around, but just be careful with this piece, so you just kind of move it to the side or something and then just rotate it. The arm can kind of move, the hand I mean, but the hand can rotate, which is still pretty cool. The arm is on a double hinge, so that's pretty cool. And then you have the pieces right here that don't really get in the way, but it's fine. So yeah, that's pretty good for the arms. You can get some really nice arm posability with that. The head, I forgot about the head, but the head is like ton of, I want to say ball joint, but you don't really get much like movement for up and down. You could do a 360, kinda. Mine's a little tight there, but it gets the job done, you know. You get a waist rotation, pretty good. Smooth the hands out of the way, and you can get that. Kinda. There we go. Ooh, it's gonna fall. But you can get that. Legs can go up that much. They can go back that much. You have a bend on the knee, which is pretty good. There is a rotation on the legs, so it's pretty solid. And then there's ankle tilted here, but if you go too much, it's just gonna unpick all of that, like all of that piece. But it just goes as much as to that. Let's just leave it at that. Other than that, articulation is pretty solid. Figure looks good. The chest looks really good. I like these little triangle bits, and then this piece just kind of goes down. Like if you see it, you can see that it's Galvatron if you own the mold. But if you don't own a Galvatron mold, you'll be like, oh, what the heck? This is new figure or something. That's what I like about this guy, you know. Unless you own the Galvatron, like I repeat, when you see Galvatron, then you kind of know what the heck happens here. But yeah, this is a great figure. Transformation is the same, but it's still pretty cool, you know. So first thing first, we're gonna bring the arms, the hands I mean, in. Bring the hands here, and then these are in a double joint right here, so you just gotta bring them like Galvatron. Just bring those up, and then you can just bring this whole section here, unpeg it. Well, it's not pegged, but it's kind of like just kind of like fits in there just like that, but you just kind of like fold it down, and then you bring it up, and then it's just gonna peg with the arms, which is pretty cool. And just bring it out just like that, like if it's flexing his biceps. Same thing here, just gonna bring the arm and double hinge just like that, fold this piece out just like that. You can see little detail right here that's pretty cool. Just bring these pieces up just like that. Now you have them like that, which is pretty cool. Now, same thing as Galvatron, you're gonna bring the legs, unpeg these pieces, unpeg these pieces right here, and then we're just gonna bring these down, rotate them like that. Just bring these out of the way, you know. And then you can just kind of tab this whole legs together. Just kind of tab them. And then you're going to bring these sections down. You're just going to bring them like that. Pull these pieces out. Pull this piece out. And they just kind of peg in there together. Pretty good. Just like your own Galvatron figure, the typical one. The old one. Which we have like thousands. We have like 4 molds, I want to say, or oh, I'm forgetting the clear plastic purple one. Oh my god, there's like 5 already. Oh my god. Anyways, I like to bring these little sections out just to kind of get them out of the way in a way. So just bring this section down like this, and then you can start unpegging the whole shoulder pieces. Just kind of bring them out like that. Same thing over here, just like that, and make sure these pieces are out of the way, just like that. And then here we go to the back, and then we can just peg this, take this out, and then we're just gonna bring this whole section down, just like that. And then just this whole section just kind of comes down, just like that. And then this just goes in there. And as you're doing that, you're just gonna bring the legs back. So it kind of goes weird, but yeah. Let me bring this. this is supposed to kind of tab there. This whole section, there we go. It's tapped in there. And then just like that. And then the instructions say to start putting in the whole arms together and stuff. But I like to do that last because this piece keeps on moving. So what I like to do is just bring this whole section up. That way I have more clearance for that. And then I can just bring this section down. And that holds this whole piece together. That way when you put the arms and everything together, it doesn't wobble or anything moves around. So then I just think this secures the whole figure really nice. You know, this piece pegging it already before the arms, it just secures everything really nice. So now we can just bring these tabs here are going to peg in there when we fold this whole thing here. So bring this in and then make sure that kind of goes out. And then just make sure that pegs in there. Oh. Make sure that fix the arm just like that. And then you just bring this whole section down. Just kind of make sure it pegs in there. And then there's also some hole right here that's going to also tab with this one. So you just got to make sure everything just kind of... There we go. And then as soon as it tabs in, just bring this piece down. And then it just pegs there. Same thing with the other side. Bring that out of the way. Bring this whole section down. Oh, and then just bring these pieces down. And then just these whole things kind of stay out like that. This is how it should be looking. If it doesn't look like this, you're doing something wrong. And then now, oh no, you have this whole big circle there that looks weird. But no, they added some hinges right here on the chest piece. You can just fold these to give it better, I don't know, better structure or whatever you want to call it. And then that's basically it. Oh, and then I forgot to bring these feet down. Just kind of bring this whole section down, just like that. Just like that. And then just like Galvatron, you can just kind of make it like however you want. And then you can bring his accessories, this little tiny cannon, which looks really good. And then you can bring the axe and give it like a little fin on the back of it, like this. Come on, peg in there. There we go. And he's supposed to be a spaceship, I believe. He's not a tank or any of that kind of thing. He's supposed to be a spaceship, I think. I don't know. But he still looks good, you know. This, you can adjust it however you want, but this looks really, really good. This is a nice spaceship. I'm sure he's a spaceship. He's not a tank or something like that, but it still looks really, really good. The painting on it looks really good. The shadowing right here kind of still fixed. It looks good right here with the shadow, you know. It makes sense because this is where you don't see the figure, you know. The light is kind of going down here, so then the shadow is right here. So I think that's pretty accurate, you know, to the whole comic book and stuff. You know, you still have here the shadow, you know. The light is facing the top, so only the bottom pieces have the shadowing. So it's pretty cool how they did all this. And don't get me wrong, the Galvatron mold is good. I like it. I got my Galvatron mode, but they really want that figure to sell out like a lot, you know. I was hoping the Studio Series one would be a new mold, but it turned out to be an old mold. Not an old mold, but just a repaint. So let's take this off. I'm gonna turn it back to robot mode. I'm gonna turn into a truck now. Chuck. And then I'm gonna bring these pieces back up, just like that, and then just kind of hold these in, and then just bring that up, just like that. Okay. Now we're gonna bring this whole section out and tap these first, and then just kind of unpack these, just like that. But yeah, great figure. I really do recommend this figure if you kind of like this comic book characters, or if you want a figure and you don't know what to get, and you're just kind of like, I just want a figure, you know. Just kind of get this guy. Solid figure. He's on Hasbro Pulse for retail price, which is pretty good. This guy didn't like sell out or anything, so you can still get him on Hasbro Pulse. I recently bought him like 2 weeks ago. So it kind of took a week to get him, but still, I mean, I pay retail price. That's a win. I didn't have to pay extra or anything, just the shipping. But shipping be expensive sometimes when you don't have that premium Hasbro Pulse membership thingy that's like $50 a year, which is not bad. But I don't really buy figures crazy like that. I'd be looking them where I can get them cheap as much as I can. Is that bad? Maybe, but with this economy and these figures going up in price, sometimes I find pretty good deals on Facebook or OfferUp or eBay. I've been getting the auctions. If I lose, I lose, but yeah, sometimes I get them cheaper on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. Believe me, I really do. I got the Arc for $100. I have what's it called, Scorponok, the Generation Selects, which is the Japanese figure one, Black Zarek, for $100. I got Metroplex Legacy Metroplex from Cybertron, that one, the first Titan from Legacy Toyland. I got him for $100. I don't know, but I got him for $100. So whatever their issue was with them selling them like that price, that's not my problem. But I got them for $100. I've gone in Studio Series or Legacy United figures for like half the price. Sometimes nothing crazy, right? But $20. Voyagers. I got that 4-pack from Target exclusive for like $40. The one with the Gold Bug, the Insecticon, Scorponok, and Waspinator. I got that one for $40. That was a steal. 4 deluxes for like $10 each. Should give it to me, But yeah. Anyways, in conclusion, this figure is really great. I think at this point, just get the figure where you get the cheapest price. Be careful out there because there's people that sell it more expensive. If you're a collector and you're just trying to grow your collection, just get it where you can the cheapest. But if you're one of those that's just trying to resell it more expensive, that's not nice. I know there's some businesses that do it and give it more expensive because then they pay their stuff, which is understandable. I'm not hating on them. It's just those little vendors that just kind of sell it for triple the price, which is crazy, One example of that issue was the Transformers Rise of the Beast Target exclusive. Oh my god, that was a big mess. Thank god I got mine, but it was a big mess, and thank god they reissue it for retail price, which is crazy. It was funny to see all those people selling it for $80, bring down the price to $50, which is so funny. But yeah, just ranting out about people fighting over toys. But anyways, this figure is on Hasbro Pulse. He is in stock. I bought him 2 weeks ago. He is a solid figure. I do recommend him. I do have my Galvatron. Let me go get it. Oh my god, it's a big mess here. Like I said, I do not have the original Legacy United Kingdom Studio Series, but I have this one. I don't know why, I just like this one better. Not a lot of... I got this one for really cheap, by the way. I got this one for $30 on Amazon. I remember when I got him, he was on sale. The legacy version and then the Kingdom version was like $60 or $59, and I was like, dude, it's the same figure just with the stickers. I didn't see no problem. Yeah, the stickers might turn bad with time or something, but I still like how he looks. So I think this is really nice, you know. Size comparison, you still have the little pieces here on the sides. The little piece right here on the back is different. This one's like a little triangle, and this one's just a flat piece. The back is different. Right here, it's different. The legs are the same. To me, they look the same, and they are the same, I believe. It's just the front pieces here These pieces are different. The shoulders seem to be the same, but these pieces are different. The forearms, because they don't have the peg there, so I knew it. They were different, you know. These little turrets, they're different, obviously. These ones peg. These peg. Those don't peg, which is kind of cool, I guess. It doesn't really bother me that much. So this is how he looks with the cannon. He would look weird with the same kind of cannon. You know, that looks kind of weird-ish. But if I put this one on this guy, damn it, come on, get in there. That looks kind of weird, I guess. It looks like he got half a cannon. So overall, they're good figures. They all look good together, and they look really good. I do recommend him. So yeah, go get him if you haven't. If you're just deciding what to get, so please like them, subscribe, and thank you. Don't pay overpriced for figures that are still new. Thank you.